Dynamite go-home show for All In Texas this upcoming Saturday was last night. We're going to talk about everything that happened on that episode of Dynamite. And boy, is this going to be a great All In Texas. All of that here on Screw the Script. The Young Bucks are still probably complaining and walking home after their limo was destroyed last night by Swerve at the end of the show.
How are we going to financially recover from this?
All jokes aside, solid and great build episode of Dynamite for All In Texas later this weekend. Let's get right into it, starting with the opening promo that we saw between Mercedes Monae and Toni Storm. It was a really, really good promo, back and forth between Mercedes and Toni Storm, but my oh my, the most memorable line, and everybody's kind of quoting it from that promo, was when Toni Storm said, when she said that Mercedes has the authenticity of a spray tan and a rainstorm. I've never heard anything like that before. Toni Storm is a national treasure. Tony Khan needs to do everything in his power to protect her. Don't ever let this gimmick go away. It is the best thing that she has ever done in her career, and it's honestly one of the best gimmicks of recent times, I would say, in the last 5 to 10 years. It's up there. It's so entertaining. It doesn't matter who she feuds with. She cuts great promos, and every championship match that she's had as this timeless gimmick, I've been extremely excited for. And this is no different for All In Texas between her and Mercedes. I hope Toni Storm comes out on top. We saw a quick promo backstage by Moxley doing his usual Joker-esque, and I'm talking like Heath Ledger sort of Joker-esque promo. He's always kind of giving me that vibe, just the way that he talks in these promos. Nonetheless, it was another good promo. Say what you want about Moxley's title run. I myself am not a huge fan of it. But maybe that's what they were targeting all along. They wanted us to truly hate this title run and hate him as a true heel. And if that was the goal, they've done it. He's calling out Hangman, basically saying that he is all in for Texas. And in a nutshell, asking if he is all in and ready for this title shot. And that he got lucky when they faced off against each other in the past. And that history won't repeat itself. So, solid promo. Bandido and Brody King versus Fletcher and Teesha. Boy, AEW is really putting effort in their tag division again. They have had so many good tag matches in the last few months. They just had a great match last week between the Outrunners and FTR. And then last night we saw another amazing tag match between these two teams. We saw something crazy like this.
Bandido a step quicker than Fletcher. Pops off.
I mean, Fletcher can do it all. He can sell. His finisher is great looking and very old school, which I like. He's got the complete package. If he doesn't walk away as TNT champ at All In Texas, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be a little disappointed. And Teesha and Fletcher pick up the win last night, further pushing Fletcher's significance leading into his match against Adam Cole at All In Texas. The Outrunner is mentioning that they aren't finished with FTR, calling them out again. Maybe we'll see this be a pre-show match, pre-show tag match, where they have, a second match. I would love to see the Outrunners win this as well, so then they can build to a rubber match, maybe, let's say, at All Out this September, and just continue this feud for a while. I know that's kind of a ways away, though, since we're in July and not August, and All Out is not immediately after All In like it has been in the past. But I can see how they could build this feud to last all the way until All Out in September. Ricochet had a solid singles match against Blake Christian. I really like Blake Christian. He's a newcomer. I saw him live, actually, when I was at an episode of Dynamite back in March. In the Twin Cities area. He's just really good. He needs, I think, a little bit better of a package, but his moves are very interesting. I like his arrogance. I really think over the next few years, if he continues to build on that, he can be a solid heel in AEW. We did see Ricochet pick up the win. I don't want to say this too soon because I might just be overthinking it, but it almost kind of feels like Ricochet's kind of plateauing now. He's kind of hit a wall on his, his trajectory that he was heading on as just an asshole of a heel. There really isn't anything for him at all in Texas other than the gauntlet match. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go with him after All In Texas. The promo backstage after this with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate finding what was written on a whiteboard was hilarious. That is some very 2000s Attitude Era or late 90s, early 2000s Attitude Era sort of thing to see, or maybe even Ruthless Aggression. Funny little segment backstage. Then we saw Kenny Omega. He delivers a message to Okada, saying things like, somehow I knew this day would come. The rivalry between the two of them is absolutely legendary, which it is. Then he gave Okada props saying that you are the greatest, and I once defeated the greatest wrestler on the planet, and that was enough for me. But now, we've got this huge match for All in Texas, and dare I say, I think this might be my most hyped match. Even more so than the main event, which will be Moxley Hangman. Their rivalry is so damn good from New Japan. That's probably why I'm more hyped for this match. And it's probably going to be the only time it'll happen at a pay-per-view anyway, before, the careers come to an end. Because if you think about it, AEW's been around for 6 years, and this is finally the first time we're going to see the two of them square off one-on-one against each other for championship gold in AEW, and it's been 6 years. Now, it could happen again if they want to continue this feud after this match and maybe maybe run it back at All Out. We'll see. But if this is the last time that these two wrestle each other, soak it in because it's going to be one memorable match. The talky talk that we saw between Brisco and MJF was a lot of fun. MJF, of course, being the douchebag heel that he is, attacked Brisco about his brother, Jay, and, that was a little too far. Kayfabe, obviously. We all know that they all have the utmost respect for Jay Brisco, but obviously this sent Mark Briscoe over the edge. And I really hope that when they open All In, if this is going to be the opening match, I should say at All In. If not, when they open the men's gauntlet match and the two of them are staring at each other across the ring, the crowd pop that will happen if Briscoe gets the upper hand right away and just wails on MJF for a solid minute, it's going to be amazing. The four-way match, the women's four-way match, was actually my surprise of the night. I really thought Megan Bayne was going to come out on top. Apparently, it looked like Tekla came out on top. I actually missed pretty much the whole match, but I did hear and see that Tekla won, so I don't really have much to cover on the match. Coming back and, Tekla winning, I've said this on my channel that she's a star and she's going to get sent right to the top just like Megan Bayne was. Megan Bayne was my shoo-in to win this. We saw Tekla win, and I did say it, and I'll say it again. I think that she is going to be the one to challenge the winner between Mercedes and Toni Storm. She'll be the next one in line. Hopefully it's Toni Storm that still has the titles, because Tekla and Toni, sign me up for that. Samoa Joe finished off Wheeler Uda in, I think, a 10-minute match. Nothing to write home about. It was just any other Dynamite match. Nothing, memorable about it. It's great to see Samoa Joe, though. I love Samoa Joe. And Wheeler Uda, it's got to cut that fucking hair. He looks ridiculous. I did like seeing Gabe Kidd get involved again. His kind of tie-ins with the Death Riders. The more that we see him on TV, the more I am assuming that he is going to get signed as soon as his New Japan contract ends, which I believe is later this summer. It actually might be the end of July. So don't be surprised if you see the Gabe Kidd is All Elite graphic show up at some point after All In Texas, or even right around All Out this September. The All-Star 8-Man tag was the highlight of this night. We saw everything with Moxley and Claudio and the Young Bucks, Osprey, Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hangman. Hangman looked great, had a lot of solid spots. You can tell even that the commentators are behind him. I truly think he's going to be the next one to hold the belt. If he doesn't win this Saturday, the only other person that makes sense would be Darby Allin when he returns. Really good match. The stuff that happened afterwards was a lot of fun too. The joke that I made at the beginning of the video, I was wondering why isn't Swerve in this match? And we found out after the match that he was backstage in the parking lot and with the crane, and dropped the entire crane on top of their limo a few times and completely shattered the rooftop and the windshield. Young Bucks got pissed. They were about to take out Osprey and Hangman with like plastic bags. Basically, what were they going to do? Kill them? It's a little ridiculous that they did that. Hilarious though. Fun and exciting way to end this Go Home Dynamite show. And later on tonight, we actually have the Go Home Collision, since All In Texas is on Saturday. So we're going to have Collision tonight. So, a back-to-back treat for AEW. I love everything that they've been doing in 2025. This has probably been my second favorite year of AEW, aside from their initial first year as a company. I think the sky's the limit for them. They had a $3 million gate for All In Texas. They now broke the record for the biggest non-WWE event in the U.S. I believe so. I know they broke their previous record for AEW specifically, but I think if they haven't, they are damn near close to breaking it. And that's all very positive news for AEW. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. You let me know down below what your highlight was of last night's Dynamite. Are you as excited as I am for All In Texas? Because I think on paper this is going to be their best pay-per-view ever. And I haven't been this excited for a wrestling pay-per-view since I was a child. I'm not going to lie. It's that exciting for me. This has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.